Hello everybody, it's Marie here from Pepperly Rose Paper Crafting. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Sydney, Australia. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we're going to do some crafting therapy. As always, whatever products I featured will be available through my online store at pepperlyrosepapercrafting.stampinup.net. I just thought today we'd do a fun project, nothing too like extravagant or anything like that, but I will be using a fair few things. So what I'll be doing today is using the Forever Blossoms bundle. This includes this stamp set, which is a red rubber mounted one, and the matching dies. I'll be using this die today and this image over here. It's going to keep it very simple. I'm using Leave a Little Sparkle. I'm going to be using that Flourish. I really love that Flourish. The Subtle 3D Embossing Folder, and I'm using Wild Rose dies, and I'll be using this feature over here. It's a fairly simple card, so we'll get started on it. So what I'm using today is basic grey card base. This is half an A4 and scored in half again, and I'm just going to fold and burnish that score line. Just to let you guys know, my husband's working from home now, and my children are being homeschooled because of the restrictions we have now with the coronavirus, which it's nice to have everyone at home, but I think by the end of it we'll all go a bit stir crazy. But so far so good. So the school's been wonderful and supportive, and yeah, we're going to get through this, and I thought we'll just keep my videos business as usual, 1 to 2 times a week depending, but with my children being homeschooled and what have you, I have to be available for them as well. So I'll do my best to do 1 to 2 videos a week, all going well. So I've got some Whisper White panels here. I've got one that will go in the front and then on the inside. And then I've got 2 scrap pieces of Whisper White cardstock to do my stamping. So to start off with, I'm going to do some ink blending with this panel here. So I'm going to bring my craft sheet. I'm going to do just some, random ink blending all over this. It doesn't have to be 100% perfect, but it's just enough to give a subtle colour. So I've got my balmy blue ink. I'm going to use one of my makeup brushes, and we'll just start inking. And as I said, it's just enough to give a slight hint of colour, but I do want it kind of heavy along the edges. I want it to have a kind of a vintage feel to it, but a simple vintage, if that makes any sense. I've been liking the vintage look at the moment, but I don't want to go berserk with it because it's not really 100% my style, but I thought I'll, kind of challenge myself and try something a little different. So a little bit more heavy on the edges, and then I'll just do a quick once over colour. So I think that turned out lovely. So I'll give, wipe this down, use my microfiber cloth to dry that, and then I'll use the same cloth to clean my brush. I'm sure that's clean now, but I'll double check at the back. Yep, and that's done. Alright, now with this stamp over here, I'm going to take that out, and I'm going to put some little flourishes just all over, and I'm going to use my Stamparatus for this, only because I'm actually filming from a different location in my home, so I'm away from the kids, so I don't disturb them with their schoolwork. And so I will be doing that. So what I'll be doing with this is just stamp just in places. So I'll put that more towards the middle, and then I'm going to ink it up with balmy blue, just kind of lightly, and just stamp like that. If you can see that close up. And then it's just going to be random. So because I'm going in it, I'm in a different spot to my usual at home, I'm just kind of just winging it. Doesn't have to be overly like precise or anything like that. So I'm just keeping things simple for myself. So I brought limited supplies with me so I can just get this done. Okay, a little bit here. And then ink it up again. It's just, you know, just random stuff. Okay. And as you can see, that's what that looks like. So get rid of this stamp. And then I'm going to grab my Forever Blossoms stamp, take that out, and then I'll get one of my scrap pieces of Whisper White. I hope everyone's well and safe where you all are. Hope you're not going stir crazy. It's interesting times, I have to admit. Very interesting times indeed. So I've got my floral stamp right there, and I'm going to ink that up in basic grey. So I'll just ink that up. Oh, that's so beautiful, but I'm going to ink that up again. I want it a little bit darker. I'll take this away because I don't need that anymore. Okay. I'll ink that up one more time. I want it to be quite dark. And I know like it's a subtle kind of a looking stamp, but I want it to be a little bit more pronounced with the grey, because I'm not going to put a lot of colour onto it. Okay, that's looking really lovely. Looks beautiful in grey. Just thought I'd try something a little different. Okay. Okay, so I'm finished with that now. Put the stamp away. Whoops. It's got some beautiful sentiments, this stamp set. Wishing you a long life together filled with love and promise, always and forever. All of my loves, all of you. Cherish every moment of this day. You mean so much to me, and friend and love. Isn't that gorgeous? Lovely stamp set. And I bought this at the beginning of the year when I first joined, and I still haven't used it yet. So this is a great opportunity for me to use my product. So what I want to do next is to use, to colour this in. So I'm going to use my watercolour pencils. And I'm going to use a colour that is very similar to Balmy Blue. And I would say it is this one. I think this is a pretty good match with what I have. So that's my Balmy Blue equivalent. So what I will do with this is, oh sorry, this moved. Okay, what I'll do with this is I'll just lower you down. I'll go back up a bit. Okay, and I'm just going to add some blue just like this. Oops. Just add colour there. It'll end up being subtle because I'm going to blend that out. I'll make it a little bit darker in the middle there. I'll make it darker towards the bottom here as well. So that's the colouring I'm doing. I'm not doing anything else. And I'm just going to now add I'm going to get, my blender pen. These come in a packet of 3 and they're dual ended. So that means you get 2 ends for the price of 1, which is great. So I've got a scrap piece of paper here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just blend out the colour. I'm going to take off some colour here and go from light to dark. So it just looks more subtle. And the same with this one. I'm going to go like that in the middle. Just do a quick once over. And then I'm going to blend that out so it doesn't look harsh. So it kind of goes up the flower. So it looks really, really pretty. I'm going to do the same here. And then I'm going to kind of blend the colour out like a circle. And then take off the colour. And then I'm going to go and just scribble it around. That sounds ridiculous, but you scribble it, and that blends out the colour like that. And I'll do the same again here. Blend that out like that, and then I just scribble along the edges. Okay, and I'll do the same here. And then I'll just scribble along the edges. And then with this one, then I take off the colour and then I just kind of blend it out till it's a little bit more subtle. Okay, and that is it. That is all I am doing with my colouring. Really, really, really simple. So I'm going to zoom you back up. And that's done. And so what I'm going to do now is get my die cutting machine. And I'm going to die cut a whole heap of stuff out. So to start off with, I'm going to try and die cut 2 things at once if I can. Well, beautiful. Okay. Now, with this panel over here, I'm going to do some embossing with this subtle 3D folder. So I'm going to run it through twice. I'm going to run it through each direction. So basically it'll go up and down. So pop that there. That's one. And then I'll run it in the other direction. Okay, and that is it then with the die cutting and the embossing. Okay, so now, I'm not sure if you can see that, but it goes in both directions. So you can see it up and down. So it looks like basil cardstock, if you know of that. All right, so what I'm going to do is a little bit of sanding with that as well. So I want to take off some of the colour and I want it to look a little bit more vintage. So just bear with me for one moment. I'm just putting away my embossing folder and I'll be right back. Okay, so I went scrounging around for my sanding block and it's completely disappeared. Excuse me, it's completely disappeared off the face of the earth. But upon looking at this and putting it together, it doesn't look too bad as is. What I wanted to do was just sand off a lot of the colour. But what I will do is I will distress the edges here with my scissors. So I'll just distress the edges, just give them a little bit more. I want more of the distress look. So you just use the edge of the scissors like that. So I keep going. And then to get more of the colour off, I'm just going to put my scissors over the... But you've got to be careful not to hurt yourself, but it's not going to work, so I'll just leave it at that. Okay, so that's all distressed. I'm going to add my thing there, and then with this one here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it in half, or just before that middle part there. So I'll just go, I'll get my trimmer actually. Yeah, I'll get my trimmer. I'm still using my old one. Oops, because I still have it and it works, and I've got lots and lots of like blades. So I've still got a long way to go with it, but I'll use that there, and I'll just cut that part off. Okay, and then what I'll do now is I'm going to put this over here. So it looks, so yeah, I can put a little, tiny little sentiment on there. So what I'll do is I will put some glue and stick that panel down. Let it like that there. So I just thought I'd go vintage, just for something different. Okay, and now with this part here, I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back. So with this here, I'm going to put glue on the back of that one. And I'm going to leave this area blank so I can put a sentiment there at a later date. But I think that turned out absolutely beautiful. Look at that. Gorgeous. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to grab my Stamparatus again, and I forgot to do it earlier. And we're going to do the inside of the card. And I'm going to use this stamp again. And this time I'm going to put that here like that. Oops. And then I'm going to ink that up in balmy blue, just for something different. If I don't like it, I can always add grey on top. So make sure it's buttered right to the corner, and then stamp. And stamp it again. I think it looks pretty in balmy blue. And I'll leave it at that. It's really nice and subtle. Isn't it beautiful? All right, so that's that part done. Clean that off. Okay, and then that's it with the inside panel. So we're done with the Stamparatus now. And we're just going to now fix this on the inside with some glue. And that is my finished card for today. I hope you've enjoyed it. So here's another close-up. You can also add some bling. You can add a few little rhinestones or a little bit of, what's that pen called? The glitter pen, Wink of Stella. And that will really like jazz it up. But I kept it really, really simple. And this is my version of a simple vintage card. So that's how it looks. So I hope you like it. All products, if you're interested to buy, you don't have to at this time, but I'm just saying in case you want to and you need some crafting therapy, Stampin' Up is still open for business here in Australia. Warehouse is still, you know, fulfilling orders if you wish to go down that way, but no pressure from me. I know these are difficult times with people losing jobs and what have you, but if you've got some spare time at home and you're not at work, because of a temporary closure or whatever, this is something you can do fairly quickly, and you can send them off to your family, friends, and let them know you're thinking of them. This will be great if you can put thinking of you, or you mean so much to me, or something like that. Up to you. But all these products, yeah, are available in my online store. So that's the Leave a Little Sparkle, the Wild Rose. I love this die. It's a beautiful die. The 3D Embossing Folder, the Subtle, and the Cherry Blossoms bundle are all available for you to purchase if you wish to. So I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts, and I hope everyone's well and healthy. That's the most important thing of all. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you around next time. Bye for now.